Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So like we promised, we were going to do a few more videos this week. So today we're actually going to do the video that we talked about on Tuesday, which is we're going to, since Infinity War is coming out, we're going to go through our top 10 Marvel Studio movies, kind of just to, since we've kind of been building up to this for the last, 10 plus years, or it's been longer than that, isn't it? No, 10 years. My bad.
2000. Yeah. Oh, it's 2018. Okay.
Yeah, because Iron Man came out in 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
So it's been the last 10 years. So we're just gonna go through, our list. We'll go back and forth, kind of just breaking down all of the Marvel Studio movies. This is not based on. I think we have like our own criteria for this. So there's probably gonna be movies on here that you're like, nah, wasn't that good, or you're gonna argue with us about our top 10, which is great. Please do that in the comments. We would love to, hear what your top 10 is and to be able to go back and forth with you guys about what you guys liked so far from Marvel Studios.
Yep.
But before we get into that, for anybody that's new to our channel, Kalila's going to tell you something nice.
Oh, every day it's something different. All right. If you are new to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and then also hit the notification bell so that you can get notifications every time we do a new video.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to start at number 10.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why are we going backwards?
Because, once we break, here's our top movies. Nobody's going to care.
All right, fine. All right, we'll start at number 10.
All right, number 10. Who you got?
Age of Ultron.
Avengers: Age of Ultron. So for those of you who don't remember, that's Avengers 2.
Yes.
That's 10. That's not bad.
I love the Avengers because I love seeing all of them all together all the time, but it wasn't the best Avengers movie.
Okay. For my 10, I actually have Antman. I really like Antman.
That's on your list?
Yeah.
That made your list?
Yeah. Antman for me is a fun movie. It's one of the few movies that we get to see somebody who's not built to be a hero kind of go through that process of becoming one. And we kind of haven't seen that since maybe Iron Man, really. Mm-hmm. Where
that's true.
The character starts out kind of like a douchebag and then turns into this great hero. And I like Paul Rudd as an actor.
I do too.
And so there's a lot of things that I like in Ant-Man. The fact that they went with Scott Lang instead of Hank Pym, but yet Hank Pym is still very much, in this movie. So you kind of get a lot of fun things from this movie. I can't think of the actor, the dude that who tells all the stories, and he always over exaggerates it. But you get a lot of fun characters in Ant-Man. So Ant-Man's my number 10. Maybe not the greatest movie, but if it's on and I'm not doing anything, I'll definitely watch it.
It would be on my list if we did all the Marvel movies.
Well, yeah, of course, because then we did all the Marvel movies.
Yeah, that was my point. I don't know how you.
All right, who you got for 9?
All right, so number 9, Thor Ragnarok, which was the latest Thor movie.
Really?
I like Thor. You know that I like Thor.
I'm surprised that it's that far down the list.
Yes, because he knows that he knows that I like Thor, but if it's on again, because we talked about our list being on the basis of if it's on again on TV.
Are you gonna watch it?
Are we gonna watch it again?
That is one of the criteria.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again.
Really?
But I liked it. I really liked it. You know, I liked it when we left the theater. I really liked it. But yeah, I don't know if I would watch it again.
Okay. For my number 9, I actually have Captain America. And
poor Captain America is number 9.
Yeah. Captain America, Captain America, the First Avenger. I recently caught this movie on Freeform earlier this week, and it reminded me of how good of a movie it is.
It is very good.
I don't know, something about the story of Captain America is really, really fun.
It's really interesting too.
Yeah. So I sat there.
If you're a history buff, it's really interesting.
You get a little bit of history in there. So I sat there with AJ and just kind of rewatched that, and it was really, really fun to be able to kind of see.
That's our daughter, by the way, our youngest.
And so it was really cool to be able to watch that movie all over again. Seeing Chris Evans as the first time as Steve Rogers, and to go from him going from skinny Steve Rogers to Captain America, once we're so far into these movies, you forget where some of these actors started at. So to watch their very first movie sometimes is really, really cool to see how they've grown and matured through these last 10 years. So yeah, Captain America makes my list at number 9.
I mean, he's a little far, but you know. All right, so this is probably actually going to surprise you, but I actually like this movie, and I whined and I moaned and I groaned because I didn't want to go see this movie with Meko because I didn't know I knew who he was. I watched the little cartoon, but I wasn't interested. But Doctor Strange is my number 8. It was a good movie. I was pleasantly surprised. I really liked it, and if it's on again, I actually would watch it, especially because there's so much going on in that movie, you kind of have to watch it again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're probably going to buy it and watch it again because I got to watch it again.
I'm actually surprised that made your list because it didn't make mine at all.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were the one excited to see this movie.
I was, and then I saw it and I wasn't as impressed with it because
That's
I think...
because of the comic books, probably.
No, it's not because of the comic books. Actually, it's because I think... Like, the first thing that you hear to anybody when you ask them about Doctor Strange is, oh, it's a visual marvel.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, it kind of begins and ends. Like, I mean, the acting is good.
I think it's because I was so intrigued by all the visuals. I think that's why I like the movie so much.
Yeah, I wasn't as captivated by the visuals, where, like, it kind of... There's parts of it, like, there's parts of the story that are really, really good, but, like, there's parts of it that are just, like, really, really bad. Like, Dormammu is really, really bad. Like, the main... Exactly! He's the main villain in that movie. And he's like... And it's just like this giant purple CGI thing. And it was so stupid.
If the villain is bad in a movie...
No, it's not bad. It's not... That's not the only thing that's bad about it. I'm just saying, like, Doctor Strange leans so heavily on the visuals that I think they didn't put as much into the story. The acting is great, but
might be true.
There's some stuff missing in the story. But there's a lot of... I do like it. I don't know if I would watch it again if it was on TV, but yeah.
You've got to. There's so much going on. Man. All right,
so we're at number 8.
No, we're on number 7. We just did number 8.
You did your number 8.
Oh, you went that deep on my number 8 that I'm thinking you did your number 8. Okay. Do your number 8.
For my number 8, I have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy was something that when they first came out with it, I was intrigued because this was a group of heroes that honestly a lot of people had never heard of. I hadn't really heard of Guardians of the Galaxy that much.
Right.
And so, I just remember just being like really intrigued on, okay, who are these people? How... and that movie turned out to be so much better than I thought it was, and it introduced me to a group of characters that, like, I really wanted to look into more. And I think, Avengers, we kind of get an idea that, like, we're building up towards Infinity War, but, like, Guardians of the Galaxy really let us know, like, hey, we're building up towards Thanos, and that these people are going to be heavily invested. So I remember after that movie, I started looking up these characters and trying to figure out who they were, finding out backstories and everything like that. So... Yeah.
I mean, for me, I liked the movie. I didn't love the movie, but I loved the actors that they picked.
Yeah, they picked a great
So I really love the
actors.
group of cast that they picked. But yeah, if it's on again, I'm not watching it. It was a good movie, but yeah, it wasn't.
All right, number 7.
All right, now we're on number 7.
Yeah.
So number 7, Iron Man 2. Because I love Iron Man.
Really?
Yes, I love Iron Man. You know that he was going to be on my list multiple times. Come on now.
We didn't talk about our list, so no, everybody that you're saying right now is a surprise. I know that you like Iron Man, but like doesn't mean that I would put
Iron Man 2. I mean, not as great as Iron Man 1, but Iron Man 2.
What about Iron Man 2 is it?
Because he's Iron Man. No, I love Iron Man. I love mostly Tony Stark is who I love as a character. I mean, obviously I love Iron Man too, but that's
Robert Downey
Jr.
is
He's such a good Tony Stark. They couldn't have picked a better character. So yes, Iron Man 2. I mean, I don't see what there was not to like. The only thing that I was a little upset about is when they announced that Terrence Howard was not going to be was not gonna be Rhodey anymore. Like that broke my heart. But Don Cheadle, he actually did a really good job.
I was about to say, like, can you imagine?
I can't imagine Terrence Howard doing it now. So I mean, thank you, Terrence Howard, for turning it down. I think that was a douchebag move, but hey,
man,
more work for Don Cheadle. So good job, Don Cheadle.
All right, so for my number 7, I actually have another Captain America movie. Winter Soldier is my number 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Winter Soldier, surprisingly, is a movie that I think is in a lot of people's like top 5, top 3. And I recently watched it when I was sick, and I watched a number of Marvel movies. Winter Soldier was in the mix.
Yeah, you did.
And unfortunately, Winter Soldier was the only one that I didn't finish. Like I turned it off. I turned it off. I turned it off like with 30 minutes left in that movie.
So like, how did it make your list if you turned it off?
Because I would watch it again, and it is a really good movie. It's just there are things in it like Cap gets a little patronizing. Like he just like it's constant, just like these long speeches, and by the time that like I think it was after his last speech in that movie where they're about to like kind of take down Hydra or whatever and take down the helicarriers, he gives his last little hurrah speech, and I'm like, yeah, I've had enough of this. And I turned it off. But it is really, really good. Like everything leading up to it, like the indecision that you get to see in this character who is like just the pinnacle of like, I don't want to say righteousness, but like of everything good that America is supposed to represent, and you see that he's realizing that America isn't what he thought it was anymore.
Yeah.
And you see that constant going back and forth, and obviously you get the introduction of Falcon, you get the introduction of a reintroduction of Bucky as Winter Soldier. So those and it has like some great action scenes. Those action scenes are amazing. It just I think it wore on me. Maybe because I was sick as too, but it just started to wear on me, and I'm like, all right, dude, I don't got time.
Well, you did have time. You had nothing but time.
No, that's true because I did watch it. I watched another Marvel movie like right after that one.
All right, my goodness.
Number 6.
All right, number 6, Winter Soldier.
All right.
Like I said, I agree. I mean, I don't think I would turn it off if I was watching it again. Because, like, I did, like, continue, like, frequently go in the room and, like, sit there and watch some of the scenes. Like, I really liked it. I liked the action. And I like Captain America as a character, period. So, yeah, that's on my list, too.
All right. So we're at 6. For me, 6 was Civil War. Civil War for me. Civil War was one of my favorites, mainly for 2 reasons, and that's because we finally get to see the introduction of Black Panther and Spiderman into the MCU. But there was so much. Once again, it's one of those movies where you had felt the build-up and tension, especially like from Age of Ultron, and you kind of knew that eventually it was going to come to a head with the diversity between Tony and Cap. Just in their personalities and the way they view things, but you kind of see that kind of build up a little bit in, or you see it really, really build up in Age of Ultron, and then it just kind of explodes, and it really comes to a head in Civil War. And I think the thing that I appreciate, some people don't like, but I really appreciate in Civil War, is that it didn't have a villain. There was no, there's somebody like kind of playing them against each other, but there's no, like, there wasn't any cheesy, end of scene, okay, let's get back together and we're best friends again. Like, no, like, there's a straight up fight.
And we thought that that's how it was going to end. You know, that cheesy, oh, okay, we're good now.
Everything's all good. I understand this, that, or the other. No, like, it ends in a fight. It ends with this team breaking up. And you see, once again, while there's some great moments, like I said, we get to see Spider-Man for the first time. We get to see Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther for the first time. We get to see Antman interact with these people he interacted with Falcon once.
I was about to say.
But interacting with the rest of the crew and seeing how they fit in. And that's in all honesty, it was one of those times where you realize, like, wow, Marvel Studios does a good job of not just picking great actors, but picking great actors that work well together.
Yep.
On screen. And so that's one of the things that I really, really liked about Civil War. All right.
We are on number 5.
The grand finale.
What?
I'm just saying, like, top 5 is like really what people care about.
Okay, well, the first Avengers is my number 5. It's just a great movie. I don't think there's much to be said. It's a really good movie.
No, I got no.
Like, I think y'all would agree.
I got no complaints.
Yeah.
No, the first Avengers actually was on my list. I don't know how I skipped over it, but yeah, it was on my list.
See, you should have looked.
Well, I can't because it's on your phone.
Let's see where it went. No, I don't want to look at your list.
It was on my list, but no, I agree. Avengers was one of my favorites. I think it was like 9 or something.
Okay.
But the Avengers was one of my...
I mean, the action was great. The actors that they picked was great. And I think, one of the things, I keep saying that I love them all together, but one of the characters that I really love, and I feel like she needs her own movie, is Scarlett Johansson. I mean, come on, females. She's awesome.
Well, supposedly she's already signed. They've signed her to some sort of deal where they're possibly going to do her own movie.
I hope
it's
so.
It's probably going to be like
really
a backstory type thing. I hope it's a backstory type thing.
I hope it's a backstory type thing. I like that they don't go too much into her backstory in the Avengers because I think that would just be too much. But I would love a movie that went into her backstory. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really cool to do that as well.
It might be bigger than Wonder Woman.
It could potentially be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think...
Not that I don't love Wonder Woman, but
Yeah. So for my number 5, it is definitely going to be controversial. My number 5 is The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is a movie that I watch every single time
over and over.
It comes on TV.
Without fail.
It is such a good movie to me. It is everything that I think, because I've read so many Hulk comics. Hulk is one of my favorites. Definitely like 1B. I
was about to say that's
like
your
my
1B.
My 1B as far as favorite Marvel heroes, because there's this dynamic between Hulk and Bruce Banner, and Incredible Hulk dives into a portion of it that I think is very, very kind of fluid throughout the comics, which is Bruce is trying to figure out how to get rid of the Hulk, or at least he's either trying to figure out how to get rid of him or how to control his anger better, and we kind of go through that journey in Incredible Hulk. And then obviously I think that's the better version, like the better CGI version of Hulk. They did really, really well in Ragnorock.
Mm-hmm.
Because after 2 movies of seeing him run on his knuckles like he was a gorilla, I was getting really fed up. Like I was getting really just irritated. So to see him like actually
moving around,
walking on 2 feet,
mm-hmm.
just being just a giant green man that hits things, like I was cool. But Edward Norton was really, really good in that role, for the time being. But the fight between Hulk and Abomination will always probably be my favorite fight scene. I remember when I first went to that movie, and
you should remember.
Yeah, well, obviously.
That was our first date.
Yeah. But I just remember like being just amazed, like, from him ripping up the car, using them as boxing gloves. The first time we actually get to hear Hulk really talk. Say something other than Betty. Like when he said Hulk smash was like goosebumps. It was just, and it was also, you could also got a peek into what happens when Hulk like kind of gives into his rage, because he almost kills Abomination in that movie. And so it was really, really cool because I think you got to see every aspect of Hulk and of Bruce Banner. Bruce eventually accepting Hulk, but also being well aware, and society becoming well aware that Hulk has a breaking point. And if he breaks that, if he goes past that point of rage, like he could really destroy things. So Incredible Hulk is one of my favorites.
I mean, Incredible Hulk holds a special place in my heart only because it was our first date. Other than that, I could give 2 craps because, I don't like Edward Norton. I much prefer Mark Ruffalo.
I don't hate Mark Ruffalo anymore, but
He used to hate him.
He's dude, I used to...
warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
I like him as Hulk. I like him more as Bruce Banner than Hulk, but I still think he does a great job. I just don't like Edward Norton. I don't care for him.
All right. We'll get into that maybe in another video. Cause
we might have to duke it out.
Not duke it out, but I think like just compare and contrast the 2. Because I think they both do things well, and there's other things that they don't do well.
That might be
for the character.
All right, what are we on?
4.
Civil War.
All right. For every reason that I said?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
No,
I thought it should be higher on your list, but yeah, everything you just said.
Okay.
I agree with everything.
4 on my list is Thor Ragnarok.
Really?
Yeah,
Didn't you just complain about that movie when we were talking about our list before?
No, I was complaining about the other Thor movies because I thought they would be on your list. Mm-hmm. Thor 1 and 2 are terrible. Not terrible, but...
They're not terrible.
But they're not as great. Ragnarok I loved it. I loved the direction that they took Thor in because I think the first 2 movies, he was getting a little dreary and just, too serious, and it just kind of became, I don't know, it just kind of got a little stale. And I think they provided a good amount of injection into that. They gave Thor more personality. They made him more so like always the way that I've always perceived Thor, whether it's in cartoons or in comics or whatever, is that Thor is the dumb jock, like who's like the most popular kid. Like he's so handsome and he's so talented and he's so strong, but he's not the brightest. And you only get that hint like in the first movie, and then they kind of like go away from it, and like now he's just serious Thor all the time. But like in 3, they kind of went back to that where he's just like he doesn't think that much, and he always just thinks that he can just punch his way through things. And so the combination of him and Loki and their comedy together, I love
him and Loki together.
It was just a fun movie, and it brought something different to the MCU that I thought it really, really needed with that character, to the point now like I want to see a fourth film of this, and nobody's gotten a 4th movie really, like a 4th solo movie. And I think Thor deserves a fourth movie because this is almost like a brand new Thor that we're getting, and I think he deserves another movie to kind of showcase that.
All right, Marvel, you heard it here first. We want another one. No, I actually really liked Thor without a love interest.
That too.
I like that he didn't have a love interest. That was a good move.
Yeah.
Because I think that kind of distracts
the
movie. Because it's not necessary. He doesn't need a love interest.
Not really.
Yeah. So.
But he definitely doesn't need 2. Like that was just confusing.
So yeah, good job, Marvel. Good job.
All right, we got a 3.
All right. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
All right.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Tom Holland was great. I was a little iffy on Tom Holland once you told me who was gonna play him because I didn't know who he was, and he didn't really look like a Spider-Man character to me. But he did great. It was such a good movie. There is no complaints. Everything was good. It was like watching, and I used to watch the Spider-Man cartoon when I was younger. It was like watching the Spider-Man cartoon on Saturday morning. Yeah. It was really awesome.
My number 3, I actually have the original Iron Man.
Number 3?
Yeah. Number 3 is the original Iron Man for me.
Such a good movie. I agree.
I watched, that was another movie that I watched while I was sick. And it was just like, I don't know, seeing that on the screen for the first time, like a superhero, and Robert Downey Jr. is so great, and everything that I remembered Iron Man being from the cartoons and everything, it was like it was put in the big screen, and I fell in love. And so
right away.
It's such a good movie. I will watch it no matter what when it comes on.
It came out in 2008, and it's still such a good movie.
I mean, yeah, even visually, it's such a really good movie. And so, yeah, Iron Man sits at number 3.
All right, we're on number 2.
Yep.
Iron Man 1. I mean, I think this movie. I mean, I was kind of into superheroes by default because of my mother, but this movie really got me into it. Like they put me on the map for all the superheroes. I wanted to see more. It was just such a good movie.
Yeah. My number 2 is, and it's number 2 because I could only do 10, but it really is like 1B, is Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man: Homecoming, once again, Spider-Man is my favorite character. I love just about all the Spider-Man movies. Watching the Tobey Maguire one is tough. The first one is not so bad. The 2 and 3 are tough to watch.
Rough.
So when we finally got Tom Holland, I knew I was going to see it regardless. I did not expect to be blown away the way I was. I thought it was great. I think they're approaching Peter Parker from the way that he should be approached, which is this kid in high school and leave him in high school, and he's learning on the job.
Yeah.
And I think that is really, really cool. I think the thing that obviously really set it over the top was Michael Keaton as Vulture.
Yes,
like,
I forgot.
He was just so good, and that scene in the car is chilling. Like when they both kind of recognize that, or they both kind of, or when he realizes that he knows who Peter is.
Yeah.
And it just brought a level of like, it wasn't so much like a superhero movie that it was like, but it was grounded enough. Like you had this kid that was a superhero, but he's going through real life things. He doesn't know how to ask out the girl that he likes. He doesn't know how to, you know, he doesn't really want to be this kid anymore. He wants to be this superhero that he sees, which is also really cool that like his character is very much influenced by the other superheroes that exist in this universe, that he's not like, you know, just in a corner somewhere. And
you know what? They actually, props to them, because they actually made a little bit of diversity in that cast too, because his best friend was
it's like Asian
or Samoan, and you know, Mary Jane, MJ, is
it's black.
Gosh, what's her name?
Zendaya.
I don't know how I forgot her.
No, I thought that was really cool.
And she was a very good. I like how they did that character. They did it in a way that we didn't really expect her to be, and they didn't say her name until later in.
Yeah, and some people don't like that. Some people thought it was a little cheesy. I thought it was great.
I loved it.
I thought it was great because I think it didn't bring about a certain level of distraction, but it gives you a certain level of anticipation for the other movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that we'll find out with with my pick for 2, my pick for 1, and my pick for 4. Like I think they've all done things where like I just want to see what they're gonna do in the next couple movies. I'm so excited for what they could potentially do next. Wow.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. All right, number 1. I mean, we both should say it's Black Panther.
Do I need to say?
That was a little extra.
I mean, I am a little extra though.
Yeah, Black Panther.
It was amazing. I don't think we really even need to say why it's number 1. It was just visually amazing. The acting was amazing. The plot and the writing was amazing.
Yeah, Black Panther once again is a movie that just brought something into the MCU that was so different. Like it's almost, I mean, in all honesty,
it's kind of like a Marvel's Star Wars. It's like a fantasy land.
I wasn't even gonna say that. I was gonna say essentially Black Panther did what Iron Man did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, and it's like they were able to repackage. I mean, not repackage it, but almost in a sense, like bring about something else that, like, if you're 10 years younger than we are, and you're seeing something like this for the first time, it gets you super excited for these movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they did with this. I mean, you already said it. Visually, it was great. Acting was great. Plot was great. It was
a flawless movie. I don't think there's anything that we could even pick out that was wrong. I mean, if you want to nitpick, I guess.
I'd probably nitpick it if I really wanted to.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's the same thing with Iron Man. Like, if you wanted to nitpick it, you could.
Let's not nitpick this movie.
You know, I think that's, and I mean, for me, that's what I think what it is with like my top 5. Like, if you want to be nitpicky, you can be nitpicky with it. But I think they're all solid films. They're all fun films. They're all films that I would watch again. They're all films that I think after I saw them, I was like texting people like, hey, you have to go see this. So yeah, I think that's what really makes for a really, really good Marvel movie, you know, and we've had that for the last 10 years. So with Black Panther topping out the list, and we've had, I mean, all of these movies have some way or form played a role in leading us up into Infinity War. So I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited.
I still have not seen this latest promo for Infinity War.
You said you didn't want to see it.
I know, but
you're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it when we're done with this.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but I'm super excited to see where Infinity War is gonna fall on our list.
Yeah, and as well as, I mean,
because Black Panther knocked out Iron Man, and Iron Man is, I mean, if we could do 1B, Iron Man would be 1B, but I mean, that was my number 1 for the longest.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Marvel Studios has just done a good job, and it's at the point now where I trust any film they do, any type of plan they have, any new character they want to introduce, and they have so many things. I mean, not so many, but they have things already lined up. We have Captain Marvel coming. We have Infinity War coming. Who knows what they'll do, you know, once this Fox deal goes through, and we'll have, you know, and then they'll have the rights to the X-Men and Fantastic Four. There's the possibilities for these movies, for these characters, which characters stay on after Infinity War, which ones they maybe we get new characters, whatever, is just so exciting to see.
Yeah.
But that's gonna wrap up this video.
This long video.
Very long. Longer than I thought it would
but
be.
But necessary video.
Yeah. So like always, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of our list. We'll even leave our list in the description so that you can, kind of reference it again. Yeah.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you for all of our new subscribers.
Yep. And our longtime subscribers. Thanks for hanging around.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
And we'll see you guys on Tuesday when we do another Black Lightning video. Peace.